Why don't we open in prayer?
Awesome.
God, thank you so much for this day, and thank you for this group, and thank you for this study and this devotional, and thank you, God, that you are all sufficient and that you do meet our needs, and that we can come to you and you do supply us with all our needs, Lord. And thank you for pointing us to you as we go through this and we struggle with our eating, Lord, and just making sense of it all. And I just pray that you'll be with us tonight as we have this discussion, Lord. Just touch each one of us, Lord. Just reveal yourself to us. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
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 All right, cool. I should have said, and be with all the slackers who didn't make it on. I'm kidding.
Oh, and probably should have asked this at the beginning, but does anybody have any prayer requests, praises, anything to share? No?
Nope.
Super. I have a praise.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Veronica, you know Brooklyn.
Yeah.
You know Brooklyn. Brooklyn is my cousin who was born, well, she had surgery when she was in the womb, wasn't supposed to survive when she was born, went through all kinds of different surgeries, spent most of her life at Children's Hospital. Has had radiation therapy. She has systematic arthritis and Kabuki syndrome, so she's got all this stuff going on. And she is 7 now, and she had her first dance recital this past weekend.
Wow, that's huge.
Yeah. Was up there by herself, unassisted dancing. That's super cute.
That's definitely a praise.
Yeah, because what was that? My senior year of college, everybody flew home because they thought she wasn't going to make it through the night. So it's huge that she's even here, let alone dancing and cheering and doing all that kind of stuff, playing softball.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
All right, I feel bad about my slacker comment now that I've realized that this is recorded. You're not slackers. I don't think that at all. I understand there's other things going on tonight.
Oh, goodness. Watch the recording.
Right.
Okay, so I'm loving this book. I don't know about you guys, but I'm loving it. But it is
I'm too.
I mean, it digs into your soul, though. Talk about Conviction City.
Yeah. I like her because she's real. Reading what she has to say is just like talking with your girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
And she'll just break it down and she'll just put it out there, and it's just so relatable.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that.
I know one of the things that I struggle with and that my mom struggles with, she and I chatted about it last night a little bit, is this feeling of constant conviction or guilt, or if you do have a treat, that it's sinful. I don't always want to feel like I'm being sinful just by eating something that may not be healthy. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
80-20
is that
all the
really,
way.
Do what?
I said 80-20 all the way.
So that's what I'm saying, though, is it I don't necessarily believe that I don't agree with everything that she says. I get it, and I get where she's coming from with it, and I get the whole pointing, I get a lot of it. And like this, justifying a burger and fries. Burger and fries is, especially when you don't need it. Now, for example, when I was in high school, every day after school, oh, look, somebody else popped on. Every day after school.
I'm trying to log on. There you go.
Hi.
There she is.
Hey. Okay, I'll get off the phone now.
Carrie.
Okay.
But, okay. I'll try to get. I don't know how to get a speaker. Y'all keep talking. I didn't mean to be distracting.
Every day in high school, I would leave high school and I would literally go to McDonald's and I would buy a Big Mac value meal like every day after high school.
Wow.
And I remember it cost $3.23 because it was $2.99 at the time. And you wonder how you get so. I mean, that is simple. I didn't need a Big Mac value meal at 3:00 in the afternoon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I went through a phase of supersized fries every day after high school. It was like 2 weeks. And it was also before the supersized fries, or maybe after, it was an egg roll from the place in the mall.
Mm.
But it didn't last that long because, I was paying for it and I didn't want to spend all that money. But I do love a good egg roll.
But yeah, I get what you're saying. Like, we shouldn't have to justify eating those things every once in a while.
Right. Like, it's okay to eat cake and not feel guilty about. Like, I don't want to feel guilty about everything that I put in my mouth.
Absolutely.
Right.
I think maybe for her it was different because that was her trigger. Like, if she ate something like that, she knew it would trigger like a spiral into eating other things. But I tell everybody it's all about balance, because I would not make it if I didn't give myself things that I want sometimes.
Right.
Because then how is this any how is it a lifestyle? How is it any different than just another diet?
Right.
Well, like this past weekend was my mom's birthday. So we go to my parents' place on the lake. We were having cake. They make homemade ice cream.
Mm.
So when it's my turn, am I going to say, thanks, but I don't care about your birthday. I'm not participating in the cake. I don't want the homemade ice cream. That's such a big deal. That's like, it's one of those things that it's not really about the food. It's about the bonding thing, which I guess maybe is a whole other issue. But would it not be mean to say, yeah, happy birthday, Mom, but I'm not eating the cake, so everybody else needs to feel bad that they're eating the cake too?
Well, and I think too, like with her, I feel like it could be misconceived, like, I can't eat it because it's a sin, so all of you are sinners.
Right.
Eating.
Oh, I'm trying to make healthy choices, but you scarf that down, fatty. You go right ahead. No.
I like the way you put it as far as it's not even about saying I'm choosing to make a healthy choice and you're not, and so there's this guilt wrapped up in that statement as much as, and then you're going to double it by saying I'm not going to eat it because it's sinful, and that then puts all of these people in this other category.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're not just fat, but you're evil too. Yeah.
That's even worse than saying you just don't eat healthy. You know what I mean?
Right.
I know, Carrie, you struggle with that going to.
Yeah. Can y'all hear me? I don't know if I hooked it up right.
Yep.
Yeah, you're good.
Oh, good. Okay. Yeah, in fact, I'm leaving in a couple weeks to go to my brother's house and to see his family, and they don't eat good at all. And so I've already got like tension kind of building up of how I'm going to handle that, because we'll be there for a few days, and it's him and his wife, and they just had a new baby, and they have a little boy too. So like, do I come in with my ice chest full of, fresh foods and stuff and like make them feel bad? And like, I don't know. So I'm already struggling with that and how I'm going to handle that in a couple weeks.
I just had a similar situation. I think people are a lot more understanding when you approach it as like, I'm trying to make better choices for myself. Like this is just what's making me feel good. I want to try to continue doing it. But I was very limited on what I could eat when we went down to Tennessee, because a lot of people, what?
I said, I'm sure. Welcome back to the South, where everything is fried and breaded, and the salad bar is just iceberg.
Right.
Conversation.
Well, and like some people get this idea of what clean eating is in their heads, like diet food and crackers and, like all this stuff. And I'm like, I don't eat that stuff. So I was and I didn't make the best of choices while I was there. And I felt it afterwards.
Yeah.
But I tried. Like, we even went and I went shopping with his mom so that I could purposefully pick certain things out.
And I think that's what they just had a baby about a month ago. So I think I'm going to maybe, say, hey, let me, you guys don't have to mess with dinner tonight or a couple nights while we're there. Let me take care of you guys. Let me do dinner. And then that way maybe I can do something a little bit, healthier, or it won't be fast food or, something.
That's a good idea.
Carrie, you saw what we did at Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
We literally brought with us I packed a suitcase because the last time we went to West Texas, we weren't prepared at all, and we hardly ate anything. Like, we probably lost weight and we were starving.
Mm-hmm.
But the last time we went for Thanksgiving, I literally packed a suitcase with food and spices and cookbooks because I was going to cook. I was like, I'm not being put in this situation again. I don't really care what they think. I know that they're not, I couldn't even eat the beans in her cabinet because they all had like pork fat in them. You know what I'm saying? And so we were just at a loss, and we were just really hungry the last time. So I just said, I'm going to do it. And I said, I will make Thanksgiving dinner. And we made a lovely dinner, and, they really liked it, but I just had to do it. I just had to decide that it was worth getting a little pushback and maybe possibly offending them. But, the fact is, since I've known them, I've lost 90 pounds by changing my diet. And that's huge. And they see that, and they see the change in their son. He's lost 130 pounds. That's huge. So, I mean, it's that important. Like, it's that important to us. Now, on the flip side, am I making that an idol?
Sure.
Because my health is that important. And so, because that was the other thing my mom mentioned last night is, sometimes people that are really obsessed with health and fitness, how come they're not considered, that's not considered sinful? Like,
well, I
it's like you can't even
think that I struggle with that sometimes. Like, my health is obviously extremely important, but it should never be more important than my spiritual walk. And sometimes I make it that. Like, I'll get up and the first thing I think about is, like, what am I going to eat that day? When am I going to get my workout? And then that should not be my first thought.
Right.
And I wish I don't know. I guess I just wish I'll get to the point where I feel like it's not consuming me. Like, I just want to live. Like, I don't want to be thinking about food all the time or working out. Like, I just want to view food as fuel. It's not something that just consumes me. And
that's what she said yesterday. The very first line, honestly, I'm tired of this being my issue. Why doesn't God step in and just supernaturally fix this?
I loved that one when she said, like, you bring the natural, he brings the super.
Yeah.
It makes it supernatural.
Yeah.
And I loved that because I was like, we can't just sit back and be like, okay, now I'm healthy.
Right.
We have to bring the natural part of it, and he gives us the strength and the endurance and the will to keep pushing forward.
And, honestly, it's a really good, it's really analogous to our walk, our spiritual walk, our health, and this journey that we're on as far as trying to lose weight and maintain it and keep ourselves healthy and make it a priority. It's no different than our spiritual walk. We need to make it a priority. We need to constantly be feeding ourselves with the word, right? We need to be in constant prayer. And if it has to be about this, then okay. I mean, and people are going to be offended by that. They're going to be offended by the fact that we want to please God and that you know what I'm saying? So
I think everybody's got their thing. Everybody's got their thing that they have to focus on that potentially leads them in the direction that they don't need to be led in. Like, obviously for Lisa, food is her thing. And obviously for us, at least right now in this season, food is our thing, or our health is our thing, or our activity is our thing. But it could be something else. Like, it could be just as easily as thinking about offending somebody. Like, what if you're sitting there watching TV with somebody and a sex scene comes on and you're uncomfortable and you don't want to watch the TV? If it's not your house, maybe you leave the room because you don't have the power to control the TV. But you're not going to sit in there and watch it. I mean, that's offensive. That affects your spiritual walk. Or what if you don't like the language? Or what if you don't care for the music? You know, what if it hurts your spirit to listen to whatever? Or what if your friend only wants to hang out in the bar and you don't want to go to the bar? I mean,
yeah,
everybody's got their something. Right now, I just think it's food.
Right.
I like
so
that a lot.
Go ahead, Tori.
Because sometimes I do get like that. I get worried that like, oh, I'm going to hurt somebody's feelings or offend them, make them feel uncomfortable about the way that they're living. But yeah.
But
maybe
I would always,
maybe like I know like when I go to my brother and sisters, like if they I don't know, like I think if they do take offense to it, it's because it's hitting something within them.
It's conviction.
Yeah.
I think that's almost always when people get offended, when it hits a nerve. And I think, I mean, I look forward to, just like you, Carrie, I look forward to the day when I can just be and I can just eat and I don't have to think about the fact that, is this a good idea for me to eat this? Or have I, like I think in mentality of the 21-day fix all the time, have I had enough of my so many containers? Or have I done my exercise today or whatever? I want to get to that point where it's just, this is how I live. But when I reach that point, there'll be something else that takes my attention.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's always going to be something. We're always going to struggle with something because we're human, and that's what we do.
Here's the thing. I'm 40 years old, and I have always struggled with it. I don't think this will ever not be a thing for me because it has to be, because God designed my body in such a way that if I'm not really super cognizant of how I feed it, how I move it, and how I take care of it, it will get out of control. That's just, this is my issue. This is the issue he gave me, to where I can have self-control, to help practice self-control, I guess. I mean, it's one issue.
But I, after reading this book, or, now that we're reading it, I've thought like, well, I at times I've always thought like, well, what is it? What am I supposed to be doing, or how am I supposed to be, representing Christ to people? Like, what is it? I've never really felt like I know what it is. Maybe this is it. Maybe people are supposed to see my struggle and see me walk this journey of health and get to the other side. And maybe that's what my thing is. Maybe, maybe they're supposed to see, I don't know.
I think whatever is a struggle in your life right now is what God is going to use for us to glorify him. Like, I will say that this journey has, for me at least, seriously strengthened my walk with God and made me much more bold about what he's doing in my life. Because I know that this would not have been possible had I not had my faith. Like, there were times that I would have wanted to totally give up, but knowing that this was bigger than me, I'm going out there to share how God helped me through this walk, that pushed me through some of those hard times. And he's definitely using the struggles that I've had to be able to relate to other people, like to share them and relate to others. And it's huge. You would think that like food and exercise and getting healthy, like a lot of times you don't really equate that to, your walk with God. And that's what I really like about this book. But that's how I'm connecting with these people. And then by connecting with them, I can share my testimony, and there's God working in his mysterious ways.
Yeah.
What are you munching on, Tori, that looks so good? Salad.
Matt made it for me. I will say though that it definitely is getting easier. Like, the longer that I do it, the easier it is for me to choose like salad over something, because I know what it's doing for my body, and my body craves different things now. I posted about in another group that we're doing about how I used to hate salad. Like I would never just pick up salad and eat it, especially with nothing on it. And
Right.
today I was like, I want some salad. And all it was lettuce.
Right.
And I wanted it.
That's me. I was thinking about that. I posted that earlier today about fruit. Like I used to hate fruit. Growing up, I hated it. Now I'm annoyed because I don't get enough containers for fruit. And I go over every day on my fruit. Like
I eat so much fruit. It's insane.
It's ridiculous. So.
And it was so funny because I was eating fruit and I was like, oh, I've gone over I think I get 3 now or something. And I was like, oh, I've gone over my 3. And I'm like, oh gosh, I used to be like, oh, I just had 20 cookies. And now I'm like, well, if I had an extra apple.
I know that's kind of what I said today. I was like, I used to be, what did I say? I was all about, candy and chocolate and here's the thing. If I had that junk in my house, that would be what I'd go to. Mm-hmm. I can almost guarantee it. And so for people who still get that stuff and bring it into the house because their spouses or their family gives them tons of pushback, like I don't even know how they do it. I just don't.
But that's just like anything else that you struggle with. Like if that's your thing, if that's what you struggle with, let's just like say that you're an alcoholic. That's your struggle. If you have alcohol in the house, you're asking for temptation.
Exactly.
If sweets and cake and cookies, we were talking about this today. Like if chips and stuff were in my house today, I would have eaten them because I was in a weak spot. I was feeling stressed. That would have been my temptation. So I have to choose not to allow those things to be in the house so that when I do hit points like that, I don't run to them.
Yeah.
I got mad because I couldn't find anything bad to eat. Like I need something, I was in a mood and it's like there's nothing here to eat, but it was good.
That's great. On the way, where were we? We were on the way to my mom's recently. I've never done this before. I literally started craving celery. Why do I want celery so bad? That's so weird. And we got there and I found some celery in her fridge and I just ate it and I ate it and I ate it. And I was like, this is so strange. Of course, then I found the hummus and then I found something else. And then I think I ended up with chips, but I at least started with the celery.
Celery to chips to I ate it. You tried.
Man, it's a constant battle. It's constant.
But I think that's what some people don't realize. Like some people don't struggle with food and eating, and they're like, I don't get why it's a spiritual battle. Well, the same things.
Who's home? Who's home?
That is my ridiculous husband who walked in like 5 minutes ago. He's over here talking about ants on a log. How I need to tell you that you need to put peanut butter and raisins on your celery. I'm like, shut up, go away. He's telling me that he's going to take a shower.
I know he's so excited to see me.
He will be. He tried to tell me you couldn't come. He said, no, she can't come. I said, what are you talking about?
You can hang out with Matt.
But
no, I wasn't kidding either. No.
Go take your shower.
Nana boo boo. But yeah, just like I may not relate to someone else's struggle with whatever they're struggling with.
Yeah.
We don't all have the same struggles.
Well, related to what y'all were just saying about having the garbage in the house, my struggle is not as much about, if there's garbage, I'm going to eat garbage, for sure.
Yeah.
But my struggle is also not having enough healthy things in the house. And I don't know what my problem is, but I will meal plan and I will grocery shop and I will have everything I need to make whatever. And it's like, just because I have the stuff in the house, that's not what I want to eat. And I'll not eat it. I'll not eat it. I'll say, oh, Jess, we have all these groceries. I was going to make something fabulous and healthy tonight, but let's get McDonald's instead. I do that all the time. That is my struggle. I know it's here. And I know that whatever I've planned is like one of my favorite things to eat. But I just don't want it just because it's here.
Isn't that funny? I do that sometimes too, where I'm like, I know that I love this, but I'm sitting there talking myself out of it. Like, no, it's not going to be good. That's not really what I want, even though I know that I really love it.
I think that's why I don't meal plan.
Even if I prepped, I don't feel like doing it.
Wow. I have the hardest time meal planning. I was thinking about this today. I was like, I need to put this out there. I have the hardest time meal planning and then executing. Like, I can meal plan and I can do what you're saying, and then I'll come home and I'll make something completely different out of everything that I bought.
What gyms are you?
What?
What gyms are you?
Girl, I don't remember. I took the test, but I didn't understand it. Because honestly, my results were not, I didn't agree with it.
Wait, what are you talking about, gyms?
The gym, it's a personality test. I'll put it
I have it in the other room. I can go grab it real quick.
But I am Emerald. And so, like, if I plan, it is executed, and that's what we're having. And it is planned out to the T, and this is what we're getting, and I have all the ingredients because I'm Emerald.
No, I struggle the same too, Veronica. In fact, I'll show. We had something in the house to make healthy, but I made an excuse, and we went to Rose's, which is a little Mexican restaurant. I had a salad, but it still wasn't probably as good as being at home. But no, I struggle with the same thing, just making excuses of, we don't have time. It'll be faster just go get something, or whatever.
Ruby, sorry.
That makes sense.
It makes sense.
You're not an Emerald.
Okay, you have to post the link for this.
I'll post it. You'll love it.
It says Ruby and Pearl.
Yep.
But I didn't get it because I actually identified more with Pearl in the description. I felt like Pearl really described me more than the Ruby did.
Maybe there are parts of Ruby that you don't like. Like maybe those are the parts of yourself that you would like to change.
What did I say I was?
Ruby, Pearl.
Ruby.
I'm Pearl Emerald.
Rubies are motivated by a challenge and or money. Emeralds are motivated by facts and figures.
I think it's really interesting to see this, like to see your personality gem and see how it plays a role in your relationships and your, like the way that you live out your life every day. Like I'm a huge Emerald. If I don't have a plan, it stresses me out to the core. And I will, don't I? If I don't have a plan, I'll go crazy. I'm like, I need to know what is going on right now. And then there's Matt, who's not an Emerald. Yeah.
So, like, in this test, it says, Ruby, you have places to go, people to see, and a list that needs to be finished yesterday. That's me. That is me. Now I'm reading it again. Most Rubies have a tendency to skip or skim the instructions, which specifies that for the best results, you should read all of the answers. You, on the other hand, read the answers until you had a that's me moment, made your selection, and went on to the next question.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I didn't mean to take over the...
That's funny.
With that.
Before we get off, there was one day that I wanted to talk about. I just need to find it.
I totally just Googled the gym personality quiz. I'm taking it. We get off of here.
Take it. I want to know what you are. I have a guess. But
You probably are. Yeah, I was about to say, you probably already know what I am.
I don't want to sway your choices. Let me try to find this.
While you're looking, I'm going to throw this out there. Maybe this is just me, but I get more out of reading the chapters of the book than I do out of the devotionals. And I
haven't read the book yet.
You haven't?
I haven't either.
Yeah, I don't have the book.
Well, I'm trying to pace myself on the book because I don't want to get through all of it because I like it so much, but I also really want to read it all because I like it so much. and this is my second book by her to read.
What other book did you read?
My second book to read by her. Oh shoot, The Best Yes. Very good.
Yes.
I highly recommend The Best Yes.
We did Unglued in my book club last year, but
I've read Unglued too.
That's probably the Ruby in me. I didn't finish it.
I don't think I did either. Maybe I'm a Ruby.
Oh, it was yesterday. Wait, was it yesterday? What's the day where she talks about... Yes, it was yesterday. Where we talked about this in church. Obviously, this is a message that I'm supposed to receive. Where she talks about how we try so hard to do, and we don't just rest in God's promises. Mm-hmm. And oh my gosh, I struggle with that. I don't let go. And I focus on like, what can I do to fix this situation? Sometimes I just can't. And that I needed to hear. I need to hear that over and over and over again. Pastor talked about it in church, and he was talking about who was he talking about in church? Abraham. Yeah, Abraham. And how when he was Abram, and how God was like, "You're gonna have a child," and he was like, "Nope, I'm old. Let me help you out." And God said, "Go do this without your family. Like, take you and Sarah and go." Follow my instructions. And he was like, well, I'm going to take Lot. And God was like, no, I don't need your plans. And then he was like, well, I'm going to have...
No, the wife said, well, I'm told our baby to do...
No, yeah, and then he was like, okay, well, I'll, sleep with Hagar, and we'll have a child, and this will be the promised child. And God's like, no, I have a plan. But we just sit here, and we're like, okay, well, here are all my plans. Until God was finally like, no, this is my plan. You need to just sit back and let me do it. And I miss that so much because I'm trying to do the same thing, like trying to put all the pieces together.
I have that problem too.
Yeah,
like a lot.
That's what Pastor was talking about, how God doesn't need our help. God's not old, God's not weak, he's not fragile, he doesn't need our help. He has these plans, and it doesn't matter what we want, his plans are his plans.
Mm-hmm. And we are just here to do the work.
Yep.
I mean, that's the one thing she does say. One of the assignments is to take on his yoke and learn from him. In other words, discipline and work are necessary. This is your part of the equation. God knows where your strength ends, and that it is the exact point where his strength begins.
That's comforting and reassuring.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We're at the last minute, guys. Anybody have any final thoughts?
We'll have to do this a little bit more frequently so that we don't have so much to cover at one time. We can kind of hone our ideas in a little bit.
Yeah, I liked it.
I agree with that.
All right, we're going to get kicked off in a second. So
I enjoyed getting to talk with you guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. It's nice to have some voice-on-voice contact with two new people.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to post the recording, and then let's try to do this either weekly or bi-weekly, and maybe we can get some more people to kind of jump in.
Cool. Sounds good.
Hey, have a good night, guys.